Coach, you guys weren't able to pass the ball effectively to get 3 pointers last night against South Carolina. This Arkansas team you guys will be playing has been pretty great at scoring. What do you guys want to change going into this matchup?
Yeah, we definitely need to make sure that we defend the three. They do a really good job of shooting the three ball 1 through 4. That's their system and style of play. We've got to do a really good job in transition and making sure we get our defense set, communicate, our switches, the things that we're about. And we got to defend the three going into Arkansas as usual. I mean, they're very good from three.
Elijah.
Hi, Coach. I know you touched on this a little bit last night, but just talk about the crowd in Coleman and how much it means to you, as a coach, and like all the players, the environment that the crowd had last night.
Yeah, I mean, the crowd was great. As a coach, you want your players to be able to have that kind of home court advantage. So it's not so much about me. I just know that the work and the time and the way these kids represent the front of their chest and the way that we've shown this season that, these kids, you want folks to come out and really support them. So hopefully we can build on last night. We appreciate everybody that came and we hope they'll be back in here. We started the conference season right there after the holiday, and so much is still going on. That first week, our students weren't back. So that was really the first opportunity, with everything kind of being in a normal routine with students and families and back in school for everyone to come out. So, and when we hit the 26th against Vanderbilt at 1 p.m., we're hoping that now that we're kind of all in a regular routine, that everybody will start coming, continue to come out and support. We've got Para Day and Youth Day against Vandy. I know we're going to have a lot of little ones in here, and we're excited about the events that will be surrounding that day, which is going to draw a lot of folks. But we need our regulars and everyone that came out last night to come back.
Elijah, your follow-up.
Coach, we've seen this team respond from like adversity and losses before. We saw y'all respond after Cal. We saw y'all respond after Texas. We saw y'all play really well after, Sarah Ashley got injured. Just, how important is, good responses from adversity, as the season goes on and making sure to maintain a strong response after, a little hiccup along the way.
Yeah, I mean that's what this league is. You're going to have ups and downs, and it's a league that very few people, are ever able to go through it without adversity. And so I think the response is something that as coaches we're teaching about life every day. That's something you can learn from participating in a sport. The ups and downs, the highs and lows, and pressure's a privilege, right? I enjoy that. And I think that each and every day, as they go into the work environment, as they go into their personal lives, they're going to have adversity. And I've always thought that one of the greatest teaching moments that we have in sports is teaching young, women how to handle adversity. And so I know this team will respond this weekend, and we have to move on from yesterday, and I think that everybody wants to talk about, the previous game, but our thought and our meetings and our preparation from the moment that buzzer went off last night is to turn the page and turn it very quickly. Because if you don't have short-term memory, whether you had success at Ole Miss and having short-term memory with that, just like you would if you had a loss last night. So the really good teams, the really great teams, that's their ability to have a short-term memory and be where their feet are in preparation for the next one.
Jay.
Your bench has been able to find their momentum each game. They've come off the bench, been able to come up with some key moments. Moving forward, what more do you really want to see from those players that are coming off the bench, and what do you really want them to be able to provide to this team?
Yeah, our bench continues to grow, with our preparation. I think it's a lot different. Anytime you're in a program for the first season, and we have a lot of first season players, whether it's our three freshmen or our transfers. So, how we handle our scouts, how we handle our preparation, how we handle our execution, there's a specific game plan based off how we know we're going to be guarded. There's, it's three levels at Arkansas of several things that we think they can do. The ability today for our young players and our first year players to understand that we're just not going to run what we run. We're going to come out and try to do the things that we know with what we're going to face. So it's a game plan, and then you come out with player tendencies, all the things that our first year players are exposed to. There's a transition. It takes time. And so we've been patient and positive, but we're kind of now in January, February, where the small details matter. So I think there's certain key moments, whether it's giving up a three and, oh, we always say you can only have three my bads in a game, and that's collectively. And we've got to eliminate the my bads from our bench, and continue to grow with the little details on both sides of the ball. And they're doing a much better job with it, but it's a lot of attention to detail that maybe where you were in high school and where you were. We really believe in the coaching and game planning and the execution of a scout here. So I think I've seen them grow with that, and we also need to continue to grow with that. I hope that answers your question.
We'll do a last two, starting with Elijah.
Coach, even with Sarah Ashley out, she continues to be such a vocal leader, on the sidelines, I saw her last night, coaching up some players, how important, in fact, is that to have one of the leaders on the team, be like almost like another coach, on the bench, even while she's out.
Yeah, I mean, she is phenomenal with her voice and her presence. And obviously can't be on the court. And so she hasn't allowed that to affect what she has control over and what she's doing in practice and on the sideline. And then what she's doing, in games is vitally important to our success. I mean, just her voice each and every day. She is really working hard with her rehab and then what she's doing, opposite our team on the other end. So they see how much work she's putting in every day to get back. And it just infuses our team and our program. She's a very special leader, and she's someone that has that unique ability that so many don't to make those around them believe. And she has a really special gift with that.
Any more questions?
I have one more.
Okay.
A few days ago, there was a recent change in the NCAA tournament. Women will now be able to be played the same way male athletes are being paid. You've seen a lot of growth from SEC teams, ACC teams. Women's basketball is really growing. How proud of you just being able to see that recent change?
Oh, it's incredible. I think it's such a great positive for our sport. It's it's a landmark. I mean, it's huge for women's basketball moving forward, and we look forward to benefiting from that here at Alabama and the SEC and how we can just move forward. It's a real positive for our sport.
Alrighty. Thank you both so much.
Thank y'all. Have a good day and roll
Thank you.
tide. Appreciate y'all's support and coverage.
Thank you,
Thank
Coach.
you. Have a good one.